I've had some people come in and they've got, pictures of kitchens. They want their kitchen to look like this, but their kitchen on their Pinterest board is, 30 by 20, and they've got a 12 by 12 space.
I'm noticing there's no more pure whites anymore.
Painted finishes on blues and grays are going out, and greens are coming in.
Everything they need for the renovation is there at their fingertips.
We want to make sure that they're happy every stage of the way.
Guys, welcome back to the show that's going to take the guesswork out of your home remodel. I'm Pete. I'm here with Gonzalo, and this is No One Knows.
That's right, guys. Stick around because if you didn't know, now you'll know. Pete, what's up? What do we got today?
So today we're back in the studio again, and we have a special guest. We have H. James, the one-letter designer from the Design Center. How are you, H?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks. It's going to be fun.
Thank you
Taking
for coming.
time, and thanks for taking the time and come and sit with us and go through some stuff.
Hi, H. We got a couple of questions here that we have been asked, but I have one question myself. This is not from our viewers. This is me. H. Is that H one-letter designer? Are you a Henry, Harold? What's the H for?
So, long story short, my first name is H. James, and everybody just calls me H. Makes it easy to remember. I don't have to write a lot. We just kind of keep it short and simple.
There you go. So,
And you don't have to worry about his name because he designs like nobody else. So that's all that counts.
that's it.
That's it.
That's what matters here.
The
Thank you
final
for that.
product.
Thank you for that.
So a little about, the Design Center helps us with all of our kitchens. It's they have a beautiful showroom. We bring our clients over there that helps, and you guys help them put together the kitchen of their dreams, and then we install.
Yeah, and it's not just kitchen. It's also you guys are very good doing built-ins and vanities and anything that involves any cabinetry. But your showroom is pretty big, and you guys got like siding selections and a bunch of other stuff in there.
Yeah, tell us about that, H.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Design Center is, our showroom down the way here a little bit, and our vision for it was kind of to have it be like a one-stop selection spot for anybody that's doing a renovation, a remodel, new home build. So we have pretty much all the building materials on display, from windows, doors, siding, roofing, cabinets, faucets, shower bodies, all the stuff that you're gonna make your decisions on is in our showroom. And we invite contractors like yourselves to come in and bring your clients and have meetings in the showroom and use our space to help your client make all of those selections without having to, spend a whole weekend going to a siding guy and a window guy and everything. We have it all in one spot.
Yep, that's where we love it because we use it and we bring our clients in there, and then they can choose everything they need for the renovation is there at their fingertips.
Yeah, it's like an extension of our showroom here. So yeah.
And but you also got you guys also taking like regular customers walking in and that they're looking for a contractor and help them out or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say most people that come in, are working with a contractor already. They have some idea of what their project is going to be. But for people that don't come in and they're just kind of feeling it out or found us through Instagram or social media and they just want to check out the showroom, one of the first questions we're going to ask you is, how did you hear about us? And do you have somebody that you're working with? And if the answer to that question is no, then we work with guys like Noah and other contractors in the area that we can make referrals for as well.
Cool stuff. So H, let me get into question number one that we have, and is, you guys obviously you're big on cabinets and stuff. So what are the lines that you carry, and what are the differences between them?
Yeah, so I'll take a step back a little bit. So I've been in the kitchen design business for about 10 years now. And so we primarily focus on cabinetry and countertops for design purposes. Right now we carry 3 different cabinet lines, kind of a good, better, best model. Starting on the semi-custom range, we have Fabuwood, which is a great, plywood construction cabinet. They have, multiple door styles, full overlay and frameless, kind of like a European construction. Our middle ground cabinet is going to be called Breeze. They're an American-based company out of Iowa. and they're kind of I would say like a higher end semi-custom. They have some fully custom options, but not like a full slew like anything you can think of they can make kind of deal. And then our high end fully custom cabinet line is called Dura Supreme. They're out of Minnesota, and they have the widest selection of door styles and colors, fully customizable. You know, we can custom quote certain items, just super fancy high end stuff. Really, really nice cabinetry there.
That's really good. And Pete, you have used Fabio yourself on some of the development houses that you have done,
Yeah,
and
we
you have
primarily
customized
use
them.
Fabuwood. Fabuwood is a great line, full plywood construction. Yeah, I mean, we've been pushing into more of the breeze with a lot of our clients because it's a more everyone wants American made, stuff like that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, Fabulous's. I mean, well, tell us about, everybody's getting driven now by the tariffs and the price. So what are the cabinet lines that you carry? Are they going to increase in price, or are we going to be staying consistent with pricing?
So Fabuwood is what they call a globally sourced product. Essentially, they get their raw material from Asia, and then assemble and finish it here in Newark, New Jersey. Um, Talking to the factory and the reps in the last few months, they know the tariffs are a thing, but they've said, at the moment we're not expecting any price increases. So that's a really nice feature of Fabuwood as compared to some other brands that come from overseas. I would say the other two brands are fully American made. Dura Supreme specifically, I like to call a forest to kitchen cabinet line. They own their own, what is it called? Not an orchard. I can't think of the word. They own their own like forestry essentially. So they have like their trees, and
Wow.
then they own their own mill. So they process
Oh,
all that
okay.
raw wood themselves, and then it goes into their, cabinet factory. So they really have a good control over their whole process from, tree to cabinet.
Yeah, they have
That's great.
they have really nice raw wood lines that, we use a lot of those. Like we'll pair those with Fabuwood if you want like a nice raw wood island, like white oak, just stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because I seen that in some of the development houses that we done to stay in a budget. You guys have helped tremendously taking a basic line kitchen and making it look custom by adding some other features from other lines.
Oh yeah, they even have a custom shop where we can repaint some of the hoods. We can, even make custom cabinetry with them. Yeah, they have a lot to offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about, American made. You guys just aren't cabinetry. Like, talk to us about, the countertops are another big thing. You guys are a big distributor of Cambria Quartz. Talk to us a little bit about Cambria.
Yeah. So countertops, over the last, I would say 10 to 8 years or so, we've seen that trend away from marble and granite. It's just too much upkeep and,
Especially with
and
the
stuff.
tariffs, right? The tariffs are making it a real
Yeah,
expense.
absolutely. Anything that's, coming from overseas is seeing a really big price increase, especially now in the last year or two. But material wise, I mean, quartz is the new thing. It's really the best product. We at the design center are a Cambria premier showroom. So all of the tops in our showroom are Cambria quartz. It's a manufactured quartz material. Cambria has their own mines. I think they're in Canada, and then their plant is in Minnesota as well. But quartz overall, I mean, it just has none of the maintenance requirements that marble and granite would have, and you just never have to worry about it. It's kind of a set it and forget it thing. Another great benefit for Cambria is their service program and warranty. So if for some reason you ever had some damage to a top, maybe you dropped a cast iron next to your sink and took a chip out of it, you can call the guys at Cambria and they send their techs out and can fix pretty much anything. And it's no cost to the homeowner.
We've
That's
seen that
great.
live in action, right? So
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yes,
It'll-
we had to use them a few times, and they're great.
I mean, their warranty also covers it's for the lifetime of the top, not just for how long that homeowner owns it. So if they sell the house and then the next people come in and something happens,
I-
it's damaged, it's still covered under their warranty.
that's good for
That's
everyone to
great.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic,
Great.
But yeah,
fantastic
the other
service.
thing now is I'm seeing a lot is you guys are changing up the finishes. Like now there's matte, there's gloss, there's matte satin, there's matte finishes. And then a lot of people have been bringing in a lot of the like blacks, like the matte blacks, Inverness, that Inverness matte black. What is that called? Iron brick,
The
ironstone,
Inverness Stone Street is
Stone Street.
yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of their new patterns are coming out very dark. We use it a lot in like bars. People want that speakeasy vibe, and it just totally gives that off. Like they look fantastic.
yeah.
They've got some satin finishes that almost feel like leather. It's a really good way to add more contrast without getting too crazy. Like just the finish on it can give you that just that little additional touch of
It'll
contrast.
look real
Pretty
custom.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, I'm gonna go to question number 2 that I have here. When clients come to you, and how can clients be more prepared for starting like a kitchen project? Let's just
I would say there's a few different ways. I think one of the things that's tough nowadays. I mean, social media is great, but I think we get into the aspect of like information overload for some people. So I would say the best thing to do when you're starting out your project, get an idea of the general color scheme or vibe that you want to see in your kitchen. Do you want it to be ultra modern, like Scandinavian contemporary? Do you want it to be like farmhouse chic? Do you want it to be a nice transitional timeless feel? If you come in with something like that and maybe some Pinterest board or a couple Instagram posts, even a TikTok that you've seen, we can direct you in the right way to get that kitchen looking exactly the way you want. So I would say that's definitely a big part of it. I wouldn't say don't come in with like 20 Pinterest boards. Like narrow it down to a couple. And that's what I mean, like information overload. There's just so much stuff out there that I think some people get a little bit overwhelmed with what they're trying to do. And we can help you kind of pare that back a little bit and get you on point.
was good.
So, first is style, but would you say the next biggest thing would be appliances?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have to necessarily know exactly what model refrigerator you want, but have a good idea of the sizes of the appliances. That's probably one of the big starting points, and one of the first questions we're going to ask you is: have you looked at appliances? Do you know what kind of sizes you want to do? Is it a 36-inch range or is it a 48? Is it a 30-inch refrigerator, 36, 42, those kind of things? That's really the starting point that we need to have. The sink also is a big
Mhm.
one. Is it going to be an undermount sink or a farmhouse style sink?
Yeah, we're seeing more and more people want to go with those workhorse sinks, right? They're like 48 inch,
Yeah,
45 inch.
big workstations that have the
Yeah.
cutting boards and the drying
Yeah,
racks
they
built
have all
into
these
them.
cool accessories.
Yeah, for sure.
We
So
have a
that's
client that has more appliances than cabinets now.
That is true. That does happen. And now, also, I guess a very important part with the appliances is, do you want them to look like cabinetry, which you guys do a lot. You put a lot of these appliances are now panel ready type of thing.
I was against that for a while, the panel ready, because God forbid your appliance goes out and you have to change it. But more and more, I'm seeing with the stainless steel, like having a stainless steel front refrigerator, a dishwasher, you got the dog jumping on it, the kids or the house cleaner. We just had a client where the house cleaner scratched the whole stainless steel front door, the door of the refrigerator, and now it's like impossible to replace it. So if it was a panel ready, you just call H. James down at the showroom, and
They'll send
he
someone
orders
to-
a new door,
yeah.
or that door can be taken off and repainted and put back on, which is it makes it a lot easier. If something happens, right? So
for sure. We do see a pretty good trend more in like the fully custom kitchen side, like Breeze and Dura Supreme end, where they're gonna really make panels that are specifically made for your refrigerator doors, the Thermadors and Sub-Zeros and stuff. Fabio doesn't get into it too much. We can kind of make it work with maybe a dishwasher or two. But yeah, they're kind of on the range of keep it stainless, keep it simple. And then if you're going into the more fully custom cabinet stuff, that's where we really get into the fully paneled appliance suite.
So you would say if you're going that way, you have to step up into a Breeze line where you can be more customizable. Too.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done in Fabiowood, but it doesn't really give you the look that you expect. And that can kind of throw some people off sometimes when you're like,
Well, usually if you're going with an appliance package of that caliber, you're spending 50, 60,000 on appliances. You're going to want to go into a higher end cabinet at that point anyway.
yeah, I would say that's accurate. Yeah.
Most people that are spending 50 or 60,000 on appliance packages are going into inset doors and
Yeah.
and a whole different style of cabinet. Yeah.
So That's
If you keep
great.
it simple, you're in a GE monogram or even Thermador. Thermador's got a really nice line too that we do with the fabric cabinets a lot. So
Yeah. H, I got another question for you here. And what is the biggest setback when it comes to selections or designing of the kitchen? What are you finding that are the biggest setbacks?
Um, I think there's a couple. I would say, the main one is probably going to be managing expectations for clients. Depending on what they've seen in their, Pinterest and social media dives, trying to get the look that they want. Based on that versus what we have to work with in reality. I've had some people come in and they've got pictures of kitchens. They want their kitchen to look like this, but their kitchen on their Pinterest board is, 30 by 20 and they've got a 12 by 12 space.
Right.
So in that kind of aspect, you really got to, just talk through the whole process and see what's the most important things to them to get what they want and how they want it to look while still kind of fitting within their space and their budget. So that's a big one. That's probably the one that I see the most often. The other one I would say is, just communication, staying on top of what's happening with the cabinets, different revisions to the design. Maybe at the last minute they changed their microwave from one brand to another, and that changes the spec of the cabinet that I have to provide. So just keeping in touch with them throughout the whole process, even after their kitchen's already installed and the countertops are in, they moved in. There can always be issues. Maybe their kid was hanging off a drawer and a track broke. So the job's not done until it's really never done because they can always call me and say like, hey, my door got broken. What can you do for me? Right. So those are the two big ones. Just staying in touch with people, making sure they're happy with their end result, and we get there from the initial meeting to the end. We want to make sure that they're happy every stage of the way.
I touch on one of those subjects. He says with the Pinterest, Gonzalo and I see that a lot. Like just recently, we had someone come in with this beautiful laundry room photo, and then they go to us. They say, "We want it to look exactly like this." And then Gonzalo's like, "Well, we can't do that," and because there's codes here in New York State that you can't hide or cover up the
connection.
yeah, and water connections. So that's something hard that we've been learning against, and we actually
We found a
now
way.
we found a way now. So now what we're doing is we're making a stationary cabinet that's just for the connections, where we can put the water and the waste lines and the electrical lines and the gas lines, and then we've been feeding that through to get that look. But you got to sacrifice some storage space in order to make that happen. Is no one wants to see outlets, right? So
Which
that's another thing that's a
on the
fight.
backsplash is always a thing. Are we gonna do outlets?
So now they don't want to see the outlets, but they also don't want to see the cords hanging. So now the plug mold is everyone's moving away from the plug mold, and we've been seeing a lot of these bocce outlets, which are those little round, drilled right through the things that we can hide in little areas.
I really like the horizontal right at the countertop line.
Yep.
That's the most easiest
It
to
looks it looks real good. It hides the cord. Super
So
easy.
we've been telling our clients just plan a little bit more so it doesn't cost you more, right? So when I say plan a little bit more, just figure out you want the toaster oven here, the coffee machine there, and then that's where we place the outlets. So it's hidden right behind the.
Or we end up with people that want to have an appliance garage and everything is in the one big cabinet with closed doors. And then, but still there's electrical codes we got to follow that are going to require outlets at certain distance on a countertop.
Yeah, the island and around the sinks, right? That's another big thing. A lot of our jobs we have big picture windows with big sinks. And the code is you have to have an outlet within, what was that?
About 24, 30 inches. You got to have one right by the sink. So
it kind of like screws up the design all the time, right?
It might be an eyesore, but it's needed there. But there's always ways.
There's always ways.
And that's something, going back to the Pinterest thing too, like you don't necessarily know what state that picture's from. So they could totally have different codes than in New York. And that's
the codes
something
in
to
New
be aware
York
of.
are hard. I mean, some of them they're just stupid with the whole thing with the 30 inches away from a kitchen sink code. That's crazy.
They are. But we're here to help you find the right solution for those. H, I have. Well, this next question is, you know, we're almost at the end of the year. So what do you think is gonna be trending for 2026? What do you see picking up?
So trends right now, and I think this is going to continue into 2026 for sure. Everything is getting much more like earth tone, natural colors. I would say, the navy blue was like the big one for a while. Everybody's doing white kitchen with a navy blue island. That's trending out. Probably almost over. Everything is now wood stains. They want to see grain in their wood, whether it's quarter sawn white oak, red oak, even a couple like hickory and knotty alder, just like a lot of movement in those wood tones with like a stain on it. Most of the time, it's going to be like a light stain, whitewash, kind of give you like a driftwood type feel. Painted finishes, I'm blues and grays are going out, and greens are coming in.
And not even
Um,
any more pure whites. I'm noticing like there's
yeah,
no more pure whites anymore. Now
yeah,
it's
bright whites definitely not. You don't want to wear sunglasses in your kitchen in the morning. It's blinding. So everybody's going like that off white, maybe like a linen or a canvas, or just like a little drop of beige in that white, and it really tones it down, but also warms it up at the same time. Yeah, natural greens, forest green, hunter green, sage, pistachio are some colors that I've seen come out lately.
Fabio's got that new wood tone. Like if you want like a wood tone and you don't want to break the bank, what's that new color that
Yeah, desert oak from
Desert
Fabiowood
oak?
is one
Yeah.
of their new colors for this year, and it looks great.
It looks like a white oak cashew stain, like out of a high end
Yep.
cabinet line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a great color. Like I said, it just came out this year, and it's probably in the top three sellers this year
Wow,
for sure.
that's nice.
And it pairs with pretty much everything, which is great.
You still seeing the two tone, island one color, perimeter another color? You think that's gonna die off soon?
Yeah, no, that trend's going to continue. You need some contrast in your kitchen. It can't just all be one color. Whether it's just the island in a different color. A lot of times now we're doing the island and the hood to kind of bring your
Yep.
eye line up there and make the hood a little bit more of a feature piece. I've done a couple projects this year with two tones. And, all the bottom cabinets are one color and all the uppers are a different color, which I like that a lot. It really grounds your kitchen and makes it feel a little bit more thought out and well designed. Blacks I think are gonna come in a little bit
They're coming in
stronger
strong,
this year.
black with
Yeah.
walnut tones. It's
Mhm.
yeah. Yep.
Pretty cool. And when it comes to countertops, what do you think is hot out there?
You don't get anything except for Cambria.
That's it.
I mean,
When it comes to backsplashes, as a kitchen designer, do you like tile or do you like the full stone?
I personally like tile. That's my personal preference. I think it just leaves you that one. It's like another level of an opportunity to add contrast.
I agree. I agree.
Quartz looks great. It's super fancy, and it's easy to clean. Maybe put a little piece of it behind your range so that it doesn't get dirty, and then do the rest in tile. There's just so many options out there for
Yeah.
tile and the different shapes that you could inlay in herringbone, and all the different patterns and colors that are there. I think it's just a great spot to be able to add another layer into your kitchen.
And not even tile anymore because we're seeing a lot of wallpaper and even wood as
Yep.
backsplashes. Like,
Yep.
we done a couple of jobs with you where we used wood panels as the backsplash and like bars and stuff. It's just, it's when you add lighting to that, it really pops. I mean, it's like really nice.
That's thank you for bringing that up. That's another thing that I seen. It's just lighting with these cabinets now. It's pretty much lighting is big now. So you guys offer a lot of that. You have your lines that have built-in lighting and stuff like that, but then you also have ways of adding those light up features to regular base cabinets.
Yeah, I wouldn't probably don't see it too much in base cabinets, but upper wall cabinets and stuff. So Fabiowood doesn't necessarily have. Well, they're actually coming out with. I think they partner with Hafele Lighting, so they're going to start doing some of that as well. Interior lighting, they can do lighting in floating shelves and things like that. You see it more in the fully custom lines like Dura Supreme, where they're routing out the interior of upper cabinets and putting like a LED strip in there.
Yeah, more lineal, right?
Yep.
Lineal where it shines in with a diffuser.
Yeah, exactly. So that that's definitely something we see a lot more nowadays. I mean, pretty much everybody in their kitchen, whether it's Fabiowood Breeze or Durasupreme or any other cabinet brand, they're definitely going to be doing some kind of under cabinet lighting. Task lighting in the kitchen is just really important. It makes cooking a lot easier when you're
Right.
sitting there chopping on the countertop. You're not doing it in the dark and slicing your fingernail off.
You remember when we were in the builders show and they were showing
Yes.
what's going to be coming for 2026, which is as you open up your utensil drawer was lit. You
Yeah,
open up the
everything.
garage. I mean, it gets a little crazy. I mean, it's a lot of
Everything had
upkeep for a
lighting.
client, but I mean, some things I agree with lighting up. But some things are just, it just
Little.
increases the budget for no reason,
Yeah,
right? So
that's great. Well, those are my 4 questions that I have for you, H.
Great.
Pete, anything else you'd like to add?
no, H, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, it was a lot of
And
fun.
you know,
Like it.
while when we have guests on our show, we always give these mugs out. So I know you're using it for your coffee. You could wash that out and take that home with you as a token of our appreciation for coming
That's
on the
right.
show.
You get
So
your little souvenir from us. All right. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
yeah, guys. So well, that's our show. If you like what you've seen, you like what you heard, anything we say here today opened your eyes and gave you a new look onto your renovation, please subscribe, like, and share our show. We would love that. That's
That's it. That's right, guys. And remember, if you didn't know, now you know.